to honor the goblin himself, I got a sword. Well, it's not an actual sword, it's a wooden sword. But you know, Jack Sparrow has a wooden sword, it's fine. Okay. So Breach of Peace. Breach of Peace is this novella that our goblin, the king of BookTube, has released. If you haven't noticed, I like the guy. Like, I follow him. I've been following him since his videos looked like this, and I like him. So, you know, take that as you will. This is gonna be I'm gonna divide the video in two. We have non-spoiler and we have lots of spoilers because I'm a little late to this, so we might as well just talk about it. Okay, so I gave it 4 stars because I think that it needs to be longer. Here's what you need to know. I don't really like novellas. I have read very few novellas in my lifetime. Most of them have been by Sanderson, and just because the Cosmere, I like a longer form of storytelling. So most of my problems with this novella is the fact that it is indeed a novella. I think it's too short. I think that I need more time with the characters. I needed more time for the plot to breathe a little bit, but even so, I gave it 4 stars, and I'm gonna tell you why. Character-wise, the characters are realized. Like, I understand who they are, and even if they don't have, like, Samuel, for instance, doesn't really have that much time to be in depth. I understand kind of like the basis of who he is. He is a good beginning. If the book was longer, I'm sure he would have more depth. He has the iceberg feel to him. Chapman, hilarious. Just I love a good like Sherlock stand-in, and Hlid is just interesting. I enjoyed being in her head. I think the way that she thinks is very distinctive than the way that the other characters think. The side characters, some of them felt a little like bit, you know, 2D, two-dimensional, but that's okay because novella, again, this has like what, 96 pages. It's fine. Also, by the way, I did the audiobook, and the narrators, like, I mean, right? We all knew they were going to be good, but just emphasizing this, great. The plot, I enjoyed the plot. I feel like it has a good, I don't know, it makes you interested. It keeps you going, and I enjoyed it. It's really fast paced. Again, I would have liked it to be a little bit longer so that you get to have a little bit more twists and turns to it, because the way as it is, it doesn't have many time to like surprise you too much. It just because you don't have time to build up the questions in your head. As fast as the questions are raised in your mind, they are answered because 96 pages. So the world. Now, the world is one of my favorite parts. And here's the thing. I might, again, not be very objective about this because I've been following Daniel's channel for a while now, and he talks about this world that he's trying to build. And right, like, I've seen his video on the magic systems, and I've listened to Murphy's narration of one of his short stories on this world, but I really enjoyed the vibe that it has. I really feel like even if you don't understand who Daniel is, if you haven't seen his videos, you do get a vibe to his world. It does have an atmosphere about it. And I'm sorry, Daniel, but I know you don't think so, but this world really does come close to like the grimdark territory. I'm sorry, but it really does. It has a darker. It's not that I thought that it was too horror focused, or that I thought it was too scary or too dark, but it does have a grimmer feel to it. And last but not least, let's talk about prose. Now, this is my favorite kind of prose. It is straight to the point. I'm not a big fan of the flowery. I'm not like a prose snob. That's basically what I mean. I'm not a prose snob. I appreciate good prose, but as long as it tells me what it needs to be told, like I like the Sanderson approach, where basically you're just watching something through glass instead of like stained glass. I like that approach. And Daniel actually managed to raise this. A lot of people I keep seeing it on my recommended page, that lots of people complain that sometimes the dialogue feels a little clunky. I didn't feel that. Like, creating keep writing, like they narrate. I think you can make my grocery list sound smooth. So maybe that's true. I don't know. I did the audiobook. I guess that's up to you. My only problem with the prose, I'm gonna have to explain to you in the spoilery section. I'm sorry, but it's only 3-hour audiobook. You go and you come back, and I'm gonna be telling you. Okay. So, spoilers now. Bye, if you haven't read it. If you do have read it, stay, please. Thank you. Why does everybody have to die?
I don't like it.
It makes sense. Here's what it is. It makes sense that it's setting the world, right? I saw this one guy, I forgot his name. It's a YouTuber. He makes really long videos about like crappy books. I'm gonna put his name up, and he reviewed it, and he said that it feels like a long like prologue, and it's true. Like it's setting up the world in that situation. So I understand that if you're building like a darker world, you're gonna have a dark novella. But why though? I like them so much. Here's the thing. Daniel made me like, especially Samuel and Hlid's relationship so fast, and I was shipping them, and I enjoyed the rivalry between Samuel and Chapman so much, and I loved it. And then they died. But okay, here's what I want to talk to you guys about. I feel like I don't like the way that he used the third person narrator, because to me, and this is a personal preference, to me, third person narrator should either be limited or omniscient, and he kind of played with both. So you would be in Lid's mind, and she would tell you like her thoughts, and just from her perspective, clearly a third person narrator, limited kind of narration. But then every now and again he would go and he would say something like, oh, and this was the last time that she's been on a crime scene, and that breaks it for me. Now it could be done well, because I've read, right, like Stephen King 11/22/63 does this, and the reason why I think it works there and it doesn't work here is because 11/22/63 has about 1,000 pages. By the time that you get to the situation that has been foreshadowed by that one little tiny sentence, you forgot about the one little tiny sentence. It's like a worry that's in the back of your mind. But because this is so short, when you do find out why this is the last time that she goes to a crime scene, it's not as surprising, because I still remember the sentence, and he does this a couple times, and then that hurt the flow of the story for me. It made me like, I felt it when Samuel died. Like I really did feel that scene, by the way, rough, right? Like the whole situation where he kneels down and then he's like surrendering, but then the anointed kills him anyway. That gave me a sense of the world, no problem, and that was rough for me. But I think I would have felt it more. I might even have cried if the one sentence before, when he says like that this was like their last kiss or something, didn't exist. I don't like the mixture of omniscient and limited that Daniel does with his prose. But that might be a personal preference. I don't know. The whole sequence with the whorehouse, that like she crashes into the whorehouse. I enjoyed the aspect of shock that she's going through right then. I enjoyed how she thinks that she's running away, and she does her best, and like other people help her even to do her best to run away from the situation so that she can survive, because now we all know that she's not surviving, and the people in the whorehouse know that they're not surviving if they stay and help her, and if they get caught doing it. Her boss knows it. That whole situation, I felt like it was so good. Now I've seen some people say that it was kind of random, right? These people just kind of helping them, but we've known from the beginning of the book that people actually like venerate police in this world, so it didn't feel odd to me. What I felt was actually perfect was the fact that you see Hlid doing everything she can, and other people around her doing everything she can so that she can escape, and she doesn't, and that was scary. That made the last little chunk, like the I guess it would be like the epilogue, so much scarier. Like the thing with like he begins writing lies, that was deep. And my last little comment on the prose is, I love Chapman's chapter. I really did. But I think it shouldn't be there. It just felt self-indulgent. Like Daniel wrote this amazing character and he wanted to show it off just because he knew he was going to kill off the character in a few chapters. And I understand the impulse, because he is an awesome character. I enjoyed being in his head. But I felt like you either write more of his POVs and make the book kind of dual POV all the way through, or at least through the halfway point, or you don't write him at all, because the chapter, it didn't show any clues on Chapman's dual allegiances. It didn't show any clues on the actual case. It at least not that they've caught. I could be wrong here. But I just felt self-indulgent about it. And if you want to just show the character and be awesome with it and show how awesome he is, then write him all the way through. Have POVs of him throughout the book. But if you don't, if this is just to give me some information, then write once and then give me the information. The way that it felt like too little and yet too much. Like way in the middle of the road. So those are the things that made me like drop a star. Otherwise, it would have been a 5-star read for me. I enjoyed myself very much. I was gripped all the way through. I could picture things in my mind. And I enjoy that overall a lot more than most people do, because I don't actually picture many things when I'm reading. As a reader, I'm not really like, I don't care if there's a lot of description on environment or like the people's eye color. I don't really care most of the time. But in this way, like, he could grip me and put me in his world, and I appreciate that very much, because it's hard for me to achieve that kind of immersion. So yeah, I can't not wait to read the next part, the next installment in this trilogy of novellas that Daniel has cooking up before his main series. And I'm really interested in the main series. I cannot wait to read that one. So keep doing it, Daniel. Keep going. And I guess I'll see y'all later.